Good afternoon. And today we have two very special guests. We have Mallory. She's a brave parent of a child with sleep apnea, and she did so many things to help him to grow into healthy adult. And we have Hetal Sutaria. She's certified orofacial myologist who was very active participant or actually influencer in that journey. So good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And first of all, thank you very much to my audience. If you have trouble sleeping or sleep next to the snoring partner, or you're concerned about the loved one, maybe your child or maybe your parent, this program would be for you. We're going to talk about CPAP troubles. We're going to talk about alternative solution to sleep apnea and how to make this long-term journey successful. And if you're a medical professional who, just like us, trying to put puzzle of this journey together, this program is going to be for you. From the from active participants of that journey, we'll find out the truth. And also, thank you very much from me personally. I'm writing the book about family who, just like Mallory family, going through that journey. And the book name is Breathless Awakening. And please follow me on that journey. And if you want to become a better reader and express your opinion about my point of view for the book, to make the book better and more understandable to other people, please send me the message. So my first question is gonna be for Mallory. Tell me, Mallory, how did you start your son's journey with the sleep and health challenges? What was the first signs of struggle, and what made you start looking for answers?
I was aware of adult sleep apnea, but I did not realize that it could affect children. And so I saw some signs of my son's sleeping patterns seeming strange, but it wasn't until one night when I walked in and I saw him gasping for air while he was sleeping, and I just knew something wasn't right. I, at the time, kind of joked to my husband that, he sounds like he has sleep apnea. Again, I didn't think that a kid could suffer from that. And it wasn't until I saw a post on social media that I learned that children could, in fact, suffer from sleep apnea and that it was a very dangerous situation.
But to clarify your journey, I want to know, besides the signs at night, what else did you notice with his behavior? Because very often teachers complain.
Yes.
Child feel isolated because he cannot get through the day by being so tired, like from outside of the, sleep. What else did you see?
Realize again at the time that any of these symptoms were connected to each other. It wasn't until I educated myself more on sleep apnea and all the things. But yes, he had dark circles under his eyes. He was mouth breathing during the day. He was irritable, exhausted, displayed severe ADHD symptoms. He was just kind of a mess. And here he was, a first grader, feeling like this and acting like this. And I just knew something was not right.
My question to you regarding ADHD symptoms, because I write about that in my book. Did school offer you to have ADHD evaluation?
Yes. So we were in crisis mode with his behavior and especially the hyperactivity, impulsivity. So at the same time that we were trying to figure out his health journey, he was struggling so much in school, and we were feeling pressure from his teachers to figure that out. So it was a lot at once, and I begged them to just give me time to work on his health before intervening with anything.
I love your story. I would say bravo to you, for doing that. But I want to ask both of you, Hetal and Mallory, that question about bedwetting. I think it's such a sensitive issue. I was the parent of the child who did bedwetting, and I have to say, with a lot of embarrassment, I didn't know it's a sleep apnea. It was many years ago. It was not so, we didn't have that much information about that. But what, uh, like, tell me about your view on that, Mallory, and then I want to hear the specialist view, Hital, on that.
Yeah, so I thought it was strange, but his pediatrician told me over and over again that it was normal, age appropriate, could go on until he was 12, 13, 14. It's all about brain development. Everyone develops at a different pace, not to worry. And he was bedwetting every single night. We were changing the sheets. We had to put pads down. It just got so out of control. And again, I felt that that wasn't normal, but I didn't know what it meant. And it wasn't until we uncovered all of these health difficulties that we realized it was connected to the sleep apnea.
Hital, I want to hear your view, and then I'll introduce you to the audience.
Sure. So, bedwetting is strongly related to the breathing, as Mallory mentioned. This, they are the kids that sleep more deeply, they can improve the bedwetting. So, the antidiuretic hormone produced only when you have deep sleep. But when the kids with the arousals, they have often arousals, they don't produce that hormone. And then the body release, want to release
The urine
urine. So that's why, it's strongly related to bedwetting and the breathing
pattern. Yeah, so I want to introduce Hital to my audience. She's a very special guest. First of all, she's a dentist, foreign trained, just like myself, from India. But then she moved to United States, and she have to reinvent herself with a dental hygiene degree from NYU, and she worked as a dental hygienist for 25 years, so she has a lot of experience. She's seen it all. And then she has to reinvent herself again because she becomes so passionate about myofunctional therapy. She worked with a special need population and pediatric population to see the whole journey, what patients have to go through. And she took the course. She became certified by International Association of Orofacial Myology. And addition to that, she took Buteyko briefing with my friend Patrick McKeown. And I'm also passionate about his work, and I always talk about his book, and we are personal friends. And also, Hital is very passionate for interdisciplinary collaboration. So, with dentists, with ENT, pediatricians, because a lot of specialties see the signs of sleep breathing disorders, but they don't know how to help patients. And it's a great example Mallory made with the brain development for somebody who has sleep apnea doing the bedwetting. So, pediatrician did not have an answer, but collaborating, we can educate each other. We can kind of nourish each other and help each other grow. So she's a secretary and convention co-chair for IOM, board of directors. And we're going to learn today so much from Hital. And on that note, I want to ask both of you. I also offer myofunctional therapy in my practice, but I find that it's so difficult to have a daily consistency.
Right.
And as a parent, tell me what helped you to build a routine at home to have your child motivated to stay on a routine with the exercise.
Yes. So Hetal definitely held me accountable for that, which I needed. It is really hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but after some time and Hetal really teaching myself and my son how important it is to keep up with the exercises and the homework in order to retain that muscle memory for his mouth, we realized that myofunctional exercises are really easy to do on the go or to fit in quickly in between at home activities or meals. So Jace is an athlete. We're always on the go in the car. I would just have him do it in the back seat, and I would kind of do it with him in the rear view mirror. So we would do it together and make it fun. And many times we incorporated his siblings in his myofunctional work because, listen, it's silly looking. You're moving your tongue up and down, you're flapping your cheeks, your lips, and they were happy to be a part of it as well. So once we figured out how to make it work, it was super easy. I mean, a lot of the exercises take 5 minutes, 10 minutes max.
Wonderful. Hetal, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, sure. So when the kids or anyone understand why they're doing it, so when you know the why behind it, it makes it a little bit easier. And also when you see the changes, when the kids see the changes, then it really motivates them. So Jace was really, really amazing. Like first he said, I can't do that. And then so we start very small, so small stage. And then if they do something, you really want to make it a big deal, and that really motivates them. And every time Jace will come and say, teach me new. Okay, I already know, I got, I'm very expert. And like then, like after a couple weeks, he started saying, he didn't say I cannot do it anymore, which will really, his self-confidence also, like high rise. Is that right, Mallory?
Yeah, he transformed in her office, starting with I can't, this is too hard, feeling frustrated, defeated. And to Hetal's point, I mean, their tongues and mouths are getting stronger and stronger. So then the exercises actually become easier and easier for them to execute. So I think that helped as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
also,
that's a beautiful story.
yeah, also his sports endurance, like he used to
Yes.
tire all the time. So what we started with, just holding just a tongue depressor with the mouth. And he loves sports, so we play basketball, while he held it. Like, so we did 10 shoots first, so 10 seconds he was holding it. It increased his nasal breathing while he was still playing. So we make like games which is easier for them to follow.
No, that's a beautiful suggestion because he's busy with something else. In the same time, his lips and his tongue getting training. Yeah, so you put it in a game. That's wonderful. But I want to ask you tricky question, Mallory. I know your son was using a CPAP. Yes, he was on an airway journey with Hetal. I want you to talk about airway journey, but also about the CPAP. How did you introduce it to him and how you can make it bedtime routine without fight?
So, Hetal touched upon this before, educating Jace about why he was doing this, right? So he had to do the sleep study first in order for us to get the CPAP. So he had already been through that experience, which is tricky and confusing for a child. And he was there at the appointment. He heard what the doctor said, and he heard how his breathing was at night. He knew how he was feeling when he woke up. So he was actually eager to try the machine, which shocked both of us. But again, when you are honest with children, you'd be surprised how receptive they are to, in this case, helping themselves and healing themselves. So we have the machine was not as cumbersome as we thought. It's small. It sat at the top of his bed, and every night we prepared it for him, which took a minute, and he put on the mask himself. We empowered him to feel, he was felt empowered to wear it himself and put it on himself and strap it on himself. And just like anything, we got into a rhythm and it became a part of his routine. And he wore it for 2 full years and he liked it. It was white noise at night, so he liked the sound. And but most importantly, he woke up so refreshed. There was nothing more gratifying than seeing that, seeing him
Yeah, we lost a little bit of the connection, I guess, with the internet. So Jace really progressed so much with the CPAP machine. Yes, I
Yes, it
guess
was a
it's
very seamless transition. Again, I find that children feed off of their parents' energy, and we were just really calm and confident about it, and we understood it was a big change, and we supported him through that, and it went really well. By the end of the week, it was like nothing.
fantastic. So I want to know the whole journey your son have to go through besides myofunctional therapy. What was the supporting orthodontic treatment, and if you use any other, you know, airway development technique, posture
Yeah.
or
So we went in all at once. Like once I found out that there was a problem, I said I'm doing this all, and we're doing it fast. So we found a holistic orthodontist dentist, and his name is Dr. Kundell in Stanford.
we interview him on our
Oh,
channel as well, so we're gonna include him in our conversation, but he had his own separate interview about the same topic.
yeah, he's great, and Hetal knows him and is familiar with him. He did a twin block appliance, which is the upper and lower expander, removable expander. And we basically started all three treatments within a month or two of each other. So he got
Excellent.
twin blocks, the myofunctional therapy to support, and the CPAP. We dove into the myotherapy because the sleep study results and all the doctors, we realized it wasn't a adenoid or a tonsil issue. It was very clearly an airway and tongue issue, which isn't an easy fix. So that's why we chose to do the CPAP. I wouldn't let him sleep another night, not breathing correctly.
I just want to make it very clear. For the twin block appliance, Dr. Kundal recommend for your son because he found what the base of the tongue actually blocking the airway, and he wants to move lower jaw together with the tongue forward and actually, retrain muscles and stimulate the bone to grow in that direction. But my question to you, did he wear CPAP and twin block in the same time? I want to make it clear for my audience.
He did. I hope that's correct. He wore them both at the same time. The twin block, again, you see so many children that wear I'm not sure the formal name for it, but just the upper expander that it's not
It would
removable.
make fixed palatal expander, but
Yeah.
for him it was not enough. He also need additional stimulation for the bottom jaw, because yes, Hetal was working on his tongue to make the lower jaw to move forward, but sometimes just the tongue is not
Enough. Correct.
Got it. And I would like, going back to that, to talk about breathing therapy. Going back to my friend Patrick McKeown and Buteyko breathing, how did you integrate breathing technique like Buteyko breathing into your therapy sessions? And how did you notice what the nighttime symptoms like a bedwetting improve?
Yeah, so we integrate Buteyko breathing in my session very early on. That's a number one goal, right? And by integrating the breathing technique, the parasympathetic tone, which, critical for the sleep disorder breathing, right? So we wanted to integrate to increase the oxygen to the whole body and the brain, right? So we do start very early on. It reduced the respiratory effort also through the Buteyko breathing, which often it's better for the sleep conciliation, right? And fewer arousal. So it's also helped with the bedwetting as well.
Fantastic. I would like to ask you, what specific milestone you and Mallory track during that phase of therapy to say to Mallory or to Jace, okay, now active part of therapy is done. Now we get to maintenance stage.
Yeah, that's again, number one goal is a breathing, right? Sustained nasal breathing during both rest and activity, right? So I ask parents to observe their child's mouth posture while they are concentrating, like watching TV or playing sports. Are they sleeping with the lip closure, right? So this subtle sign that helps track whether there's is if the new patterns that becoming the second nature or not, right? Also, like their eating habits, if their eating improve because now the tongue mobility is increased, right? Less choking, their dental visits also become easier. um, yeah, so those are, their speech gets
Conclusion.
clearer, their posture become better.
I want to go back to the posture. Or posture is tied to oral function. I talk about that on my channel all the time. What specific postural issues you, as a certified orofacial myologist, and Mallory, as a parent, see, in specifically in your son or mouth breathing kids in general, and what exercises you support for better alignment?
So the posture and the oral function are inseparable, right? If you see kids with the mouth breathing, you frequently see them with the forward head posture, the rounded shoulder, the low tongue posture. And these partial compensations happen because the body is trying to create an open airway, so they can breathe better. Many times we see their chin up to open up the airway as well. Um, and they're like, even like 1 degree of forward head posture, it puts about 10% more weight
Wait.
on the body. So they also see the curvature, the body, the spine, that it shapes differently.
Yes, differently. Yes. What, like, regarding, we learned what Jace had a twin block. So how you coordinate um, ortho and the exercise, because while he's wearing the twin block with expansion, it's actually stay on a palate. So, and it can be also non-removable palatal expander, which, Mallory's son specifically didn't have, but a lot of kids, when we're trying to develop the airway, we actually occupy the tongue space. So tell us, like I first I want to ask Mallory, what was the schedule of wearing the twin block for your son?
He wore it all the time.
All the time, even in school?
Yeah, other than certain meals where he knew food would really get stuck, and then obviously taking it out at night to clean it, brush it, and all those things. But yeah, he wore it all the time, and he really had to, because there were days when he would take it out to clean it in the morning and forget to wear it the whole day at school, and his palate would shrink. It was, and that, I mean, that was when we were in the thick of things, but that's how severe he was. It was like, if it was out for one day, we had to go backwards. But for some of the exercises, and Hetal can speak to this more, he did have some challenges doing the Myo exercises with, but it kind of like added a challenge for him. And so then once he took it out and had to do the exercises, it seemed so much easier. But yeah, he kept them in, even for you, Hetal, I think, most of the
Yeah.
time. Right?
Yeah, most of the time he had it in. Only time we took it out when he couldn't hold the whole tongue up to the palate. That's the only time we'll take it out. And that many time I tell parents to hold like mini straw, like a coffee stir under the tongue,
Mm-hmm.
or it supports the tongue go up a little more, like the small straws. Um, Also, when the kids are in the braces, especially in the beginning, or any kind of expander, their cheek muscles, the buccinators, the controlling the saliva is the biggest challenge. So I work with those exercises, how to control the saliva, how to maneuver more food, how to clean up. Especially with Jace, Jay's range of motion of the tongue was very limited, when we first started. So it was very difficult. So while we work on the range of motion, and while he was in the beginning phase, and then as we move on, he was able to do more suction, he was able to more chewing and things like that. But we want, as Mallory said, that even though a couple hours he took it out, even though an hour he took it out, his palate shrink. So myofunctional therapies and orthodontics should work hand in hand
Absolutely.
because they work with the hard tissue, so the teeth and the bone, while we work with the soft tissue to support each other and retain the orthodontic work that they do.
I have a question. Did your son was your son evaluated for tongue tie release?
Yes. So Hetal evaluated him. He did have a mild tie,
Restriction.
but through her work, he was able to overcome that. So we did not have to do a release, and that was confirmed by another myotherapist. That
Fantastic. I would like to ask you final question for the parents who, just like you were, overwhelmed for this kind of multi-help journey, orthodontics, CPAP, myofunctional therapy, and I didn't even ask, he has also postural therapy, or you did it together with Hetal?
did everything with Hetal. Yep.
Hetal, yeah. So what encouragement or practical advice would you like to share with them?
I mean, when it comes to our kids' health, we'll do anything for our children, right? And I shifted my mindset. I was excited to start this journey. I couldn't wait to help Jace and to better his health. And just like you would help any other condition, I think this needs to be treated the same way, especially because it manifests in so many different ways, especially as they grow, as they become like real grown adults. Um, so as someone who's on the other side of this, it was 2 years of my life and his life and working hard at all these therapies. And now look at him. I mean, he's thriving. He's so healthy. He's so happy. He does not have any of the behavioral issues anymore. And I mean, Hetal and I, we text all the time. I'll send her pictures of his jawline, of his smile, of his posture, of his mouth closed while he falls sleeping in the car or sleeping in bed. And so yeah, that's my advice, is just to dig in, put the blinders on, and do everything you can for your kid.
I would like to say the encouragement, like congratulations on that positive approach. And again, bravo to Hetal, who was able to lead through that journey. And you can find Hetal on the internet. She has a wonderful office in Westchester with Nicole. We interview her on our channel as well, and you can find her through the website, Westchester
Myofunctional specialties.
Westchester Myofunctional Specialty. So, Hetal, what do you want your words for parents or adults who on the verge of their journey?
Yeah, I'm so proud of Mallory and Jace. They work together. Just hang in there, have a little patience. It will help them in their life. The overall health is very important. I always say when the child is first born, the doctor say, are they breathing or not breathing? And after that, no one asks, right? No one asks. So, and it's very important part of the life, and also the lifestyle that we're living, like a lot of fast food and softer diet and easy diet. The food pouches are super easy, so we don't use those muscles, and we don't use it, we lose it. So just support your child, support yourself, get better breathing, better sleep, and better life.
Thank you very much, and I'm so glad what we can have my book journey, kind of part of my book journey together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you both.